Carter's mom has made a pretty remarkable decision. She has decided she wants the world to see the death scene, where the bathroom where Aaron was found dead. And the reason for this is she is calling out the police and feels like they did not do a proper investigation here, because she is certainly insinuating that there may have been foul play involved in Aaron Carter's death.
Oh, well, the first day, I got a call. The first thing, I got a call from my daughter, Angel, and she said that Aaron was found in the pool. So then I found out later that he was found in a tub, and the stories just kind of kept changing.
They said Aaron Carter's death was a simple overdose, but the truth lies much deeper. The same week Diddy celebrated his birthday, Aaron was found dead in his bathtub. A man who days earlier posted a desperate video saying people were after him. Was it really just a coincidence? Or are we witnessing the final chapter of a disturbing Hollywood pattern that's only now being exposed? You deserve to know what really happened. I'm working hard to build this channel, and I truly love your help.
Bunch of videos that have recently resurfaced because of all these speculations and allegations about Diddy possibly being involved with Aaron Carter's passing. And one of the craziest, most damning pieces of evidence, in my opinion, is the fact that Aaron released this TikTok video literally 2 days prior to him disappearing and being gone unalived forever.
A silence breaker for my brother, who is a rapist, and now they're after my life. My whole family is after my life, and they're setting me up. And Sony Records owes me $3.5 million, and they don't want to pay me, and it would be in their better interest, just like Michael told me, and Brad Paisley, who sued Sony Records for $10 million. They owe me money, and they're trying to me off. And I'm begging you, and I'm pleading you, help me raise $100,000 as soon as I can, so I can move to an undisclosed location where I am safe. My realtor won't sell my house. They're all involved in this, and they're trying to keep me there. They had cops come and check for a rope in my garage, saying I wanted to hang myself. So please trust what I'm saying.
Aaron Carter was despicable, though, because he begged for help, to help get him a private security team to keep him alive. He said on numerous occasions, if anything happens to me, I promise you, I am not vital. And no one said anything.
Why not hit subscribe and be part of this journey? Aaron Carter's last days were marked by fear. Just 48 hours before his body was discovered, he posted a video that now seems eerily prophetic. "They're after my life," he pleaded, visibly distressed as he begged for help to raise money so he could move to an undisclosed location where he would be safe. The desperation in his eyes wasn't that of a troubled star spiraling. It was the look of someone who genuinely feared for his life. When authorities found his body on November 5th, 2022, the official story quickly formed. Another sad case of a child star lost to addiction. But seasoned investigators immediately noticed troubling inconsistencies. Why was Aaron's phone discovered in his car in the driveway, far from his body? For a man known to be constantly connected, always posting, streaming, texting, this detail struck those who knew him as immediately suspicious.
So when his phone was found in his car in the driveway, far away from his body where he was found, and he was going to take a bath too. If I'm going to take a bath, I always bring my phone in there because I'm probably watching videos or listening to music or something. Just very strange that a guy who always had his phone on him did not have his phone on him or even near him when he passed. Now, Aaron was not examined by the same medical examiner, Ed Winter, that all the other celebrities were. Ed actually passed away, like I mentioned, but it was the same coroner's office, the same medical examiner's office performing the autopsy. So the likelihood that if Diddy controlled somebody in that area, or if Diddy has any sort of hold on the medical examiner's office or the police of LA County, then it's very likely that that reach did not just extend to one person. It is likely over the entire department, the entire system that they have in place out there.
Following developing news tonight in Lancaster, where pop star Aaron Carter has died at the age of 34.
Yeah, the troubled performer grew up in the limelight, but he was in and out of rehab several times in his short life. Chris Wolf is live for us in Lancaster. He's got more on this. Chris?
Yeah, Rick, MB, the street is now cleared. People have been moving in and out of that home behind me all day. And tonight we heard from some of those closest to Aaron Carter, and they all say the same thing. They all share stories of a very kind, loving, caring, humble, yet troubled young man. It's the tragic death of a young performer, and now family, friends, and fans around the world are suffering.
Would someone preparing for a relaxing bath really leave their lifeline device behind? Perhaps most damning was the medical examiner's discovery. No water was found in Aaron's lungs. For someone who supposedly overdosed while in a bathtub, this physical impossibility raises the chilling question: was Aaron already deceased before being placed in that green-tinged water?
But with his amazing rise to success, Aaron would be thrust into the entertainment industry and would be mingling with the most VIP elite of our society. And this is when, at the age of 9, he starts to mingle with people like Diddy. By the age of 15, Aaron had released 4 studio albums, all of which were gold, platinum performing records. On his second album, he had actually signed to a new record label, Jive Records. And Jive Records is a subsidiary company underneath the parent company, Sony Records. And Sony Records is also the parent company of Bad Boy Entertainment. And Bad Boy Entertainment signed over to them in 2002, I believe. The overlap there would definitely place Aaron Carter, who was the most massive child superstar on the planet, definitely in the same circles as people like Sean P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Brother Love Combs. And Sean Combs is one of the most notorious and influential people in the music industry.
I go on my Twitter and I see people saying, "You look like you have AIDS, you should go die." I don't understand how I dedicated 22 years of my life to my fans, and now they turn on me.
Do you regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old.
But the truth about what happened that day was just the tip of an iceberg that stretched back decades into the darkest corners of the entertainment industry. At just 9 years old, Aaron Carter became a global sensation. His infectious pop hits and boyish charm catapulted him into superstardom before he could even understand what that meant.
It is the toughest thing to deal with.
By 15, he had released 4 studio albums, all achieving gold or platinum status. His talent was undeniable, but so was his vulnerability in an industry notorious for exploiting young stars. After signing with Jive Records for his second album, Aaron unwittingly entered a complex web of music industry relationships. What few people realize is that Jive Records operated under the Sony Music umbrella, the same parent company that would later acquire Bad Boy Entertainment, Diddy's label, in 2002. These corporate connections placed a young, impressionable Aaron in proximity to some of the most powerful, and as we now know, potentially dangerous, figures in the music business. As he grew older, Aaron began speaking out about the abuse he suffered. In a heartbreaking series of revelations, he disclosed that he had been sexually abused as a child, not only by individuals in the industry, but also by his late sister Leslie. "I was abused not only sexually by her, but by my first 2 backup dancers when I was 8 years old," he revealed in a painful social media post. The trauma manifested in self-destructive behavior, substance abuse, and mental health struggles that would haunt him for the rest of his life.
The system is still so weak that it can't fight off. You know, a yeast infection.
Sorry, my part is just like,
so
you guys got to understand out there, like, this is like, no, I know this is kind of like, it's giving me anxiety, okay? So my heart is racing. I did not take any medications before I came here. I haven't in actually a couple of days because I wanted to try to wean myself off of this.
But then one of the things I also noticed when you met with Dr. Jorge, you opened up and expressed your concerns that you're worried you have HIV.
Absolutely.
I know you recently came out as bisexual.
Yes.
Is that one of the other reasons that's had you concerned? Because you admitted on the tape piece that you say, I haven't always been safe sexually.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, and that's a fact. I haven't always been safe sexually, and I have no qualms in saying that. There's nothing wrong with it.
The bright-eyed child performer who once dominated stages worldwide was gradually replaced by a troubled young man battling demons, both public and private. But even more disturbing than what Aaron revealed was what he was still preparing to expose about the industry that made him. Aaron's connections to Diddy weren't just coincidental business relationships through record labels.
Aaron Carter was found dead in a bathtub in his home in Los Angeles last November. Since that time, TMZ has reported the LA County coroner did not find water in his lungs, meaning he didn't drown. Carter's mother, Jane Schneck, posted photos on Facebook that show the bathroom where her son was found. She wrote on Facebook, "Because of my son's mental illness and prescription drug issues, they, the cops, just wanted it to be something easy that they didn't have the time or inclination to address." Schneck wants a more thorough investigation. She wrote that her son was receiving threats from many people, and she believes there were people out there who wanted to harm him.
Carter's mother, Jane Schneck, posted the photos to her personal Facebook page on Wednesday, writing, quote, "Still trying to get a real investigation for the death of my son, Aaron Carter." On November 5th of last year, 34-year-old Carter was found dead in the bathtub of his Lancaster, California home. According to posts by his mother, quote, "The coroner wrote it off as an accidental drug overdose. They never investigated it as a possible crime scene because of his addiction past." One of the photos shows the bathtub where Carter was found filled with green water. Another shows what appears to be feces smeared across the bathroom floor. A towel and some clothing items can also be seen on the floor in the photos. In one social media post, Carter's mother writes, quote, "Why are the towels perfectly placed?" In others, she alleges Carter received multiple death threats before he died, saying many people were making his life.
They represented a pattern seen repeatedly with young performers who achieved early fame. The 2002 merger brought Diddy's Bad Boy Entertainment under the same corporate umbrella as Aaron's label, placing them in the same powerful Sony music ecosystem during Aaron's formative teenage years.
This is interesting. You know, you hear about things like staging of crime scenes. I think that this has been mentioned a couple of times. Staging cuts both ways. You know, are you attempting to demonstrate something to prove your point? Or are you photographing something that's just there, where you can actually, that's demonstrative of the reality? Has anything been adjusted? That's one of the reasons, you know, to her point specifically, that you do want to try to keep control over a crime scene. And that way you never lose context of it. So there's too much murkiness here, I think, relative to the photos that she has allowed to be displayed and what the police are not saying.
Another piece of the puzzle I discovered in my research were the claims that Kanye West was making about Harley Pasternak, who is a personal trainer for Ye, and he was also a personal trainer for Aaron Carter. And Ye is openly accusing Harley Pasternak of being not only a celebrity handler, but also responsible for what happened to Aaron. He thinks that he was the guy that went in there and set this up to look like he basically overdosed and accidentally unalived himself. And his claims for this is that Harley Pasternak made threats to Ye about putting him in such a seduced state and under conservatorship that he wouldn't even know like what was going on. And he even says something along the lines of like family gatherings won't be the same, or like time with your kids won't be the same, something like that. But I've got the clip. It's really crazy.
Harley Pasternak followed me to the fucking hotel. Then they killed Aaron Carter, and now they acting like they won't clear the Backstreet Boys sample. You get what I'm saying? Harley Pasternak, pusher, your trainer. Harley Pasternak, Jay-Z.
But perhaps the most disturbing connection came through unexpected channels. In 2022, Kanye West made shocking allegations about celebrity handlers, individuals who supposedly control stars and manage their public personas. In a concerning claim, West specifically mentioned Harley Pasternak, a personal trainer who had worked with both himself and Aaron Carter.
There are sexual predators in power, not just in Hollywood, but I think in all across any place there's a boss with underlings in any corporation or any industry. You have a type of sexual politics that goes on that can slide in between appropriate ethics and decorum to, inappropriate behavior to the point of harassment and sexual predatory behavior.
Well, I mean, I think people understand that, but the larger question is there a culture of complicity in Hollywood where women are afraid to speak up because they'll be blacklisted, men are afraid to speak up because Either they're out of the same fear, or they just think, well, this is the way the system works.
I think there are people that say, hey, this is how it works, pure and simple, and this is why I got into it, and this is why I have power. This is how it works, and you have to understand that. That does not carry the day. Complicity is also complicity. The people who know, well, look, this is how we do business, and that's what it's got to be done. I'm sorry it's like that. So beware. That's also present, without a doubt, but it does not carry the day. There's also people that were afraid to speak out, who were victims, that did not go forward, that signed, negotiated settlement deals of which a non-disclosure agreement was part and parcel to it. That also does not carry the day. So the dam has burst here.
According to West, Pasnak wasn't just a fitness coach, but someone who exerted control over his clients in unsettling ways. The in-car killed Aaron Carter, West claimed in a disturbing video rant, using coded language that many interpreted as accusing Pasnak of being involved in setting up what appeared to be Aaron's overdose.
Attacked on cross-examination. Their character will be impugned. They will attack the victims for not coming forward until Cassie Ventura came forward. How do you fix that? You find an outcry witness. What is an outcry witness? An outcry witness is someone the victim told about their at the time. So 10 years ago, I told you Sean Combs raped me at this party. I told you that then, but I never made a police report. That adds credence, credibility to the victim's statement. So a lot of victims are going to be attacked because they continued in a seemingly friendly relationship with Combs. A lot of women do that. Your boss makes advances on you unwanted. What do? Quit and starve? There's a lot of reasons women maintain a relationship with the rapist. So we may lose credibility on a couple of witnesses, but the sheer number of them, I find it hard to believe that a jury will choose to disbelieve all of these ladies and choose to believe Sean.
West went on to allege that Pasnak had made threats about putting him into such a seduced state that he wouldn't even know what was happening to him. The rust-colored bathroom walls of Aaron's Lancaster home held secrets that seemed destined to remain hidden. But as Aaron had hinted in his final desperate video, he was prepared to name names and expose the executives he believed were threatening him. He claimed Sony Records owed him $3.5 million and mentioned conversations with Michael Jackson about the dangers of crossing powerful music industry figures. "They're trying to silence me," he insisted. But what exactly did Aaron know that made him such a threat to these industry powers? Jane Schneck, Aaron's mother, refuses to accept the official narrative surrounding her son's death. In March 2023, she took the extraordinary step of publicly releasing disturbing photos of the bathroom where Aaron was found. The images revealed a bathtub filled with discolored water and what appeared to be towels and clothing items, arranged in what she described as suspiciously, perfectly placed positions on the floor. "Because of my son's mental illness and prescription drug issues, the police just wanted it to be something easy that they didn't have the time or inclination to address," Schneck wrote on Facebook.
Let's talk about the showdown in the courtroom over the bombshell video allegedly showing Sean Diddy Combs beating his then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura.
Diddy's lawyers are arguing to exclude the footage from the rapper's upcoming sex trafficking trial. Legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer joins us now with more on what this could mean for the high-profile case. So good to have you. Okay, so they want this video left out. What's their argument for this?
So Mark Agnifilo, Sean Combs' attorney, is arguing that, you probably hear this phrase, this is not a true and accurate representation of what the video depicts. He's saying a number of arguments that the CNN had taken this video and sped it up. They kind of chopped it up into this montage, and it's not accurate. He's also making the allegation that the original video no longer exists. And so because this isn't accurate, the jury shouldn't see it. And according to Diddy's attorneys, because the original doesn't exist or it's been tampered with, no video such as this should be presented to the jury.
So what is CNN saying about these claims?
So CNN has come out and said, we did not alter it. We did not change anything. And in fact, they're saying that they do have the original as well. So on multiple levels, Sean Combs' argument kind of falls flat, because if it is sped up, and I think there is some degree of it's being sped up, if the original still exists, that can still be used as evidence against Sean Combs, not necessarily to the allegations of trafficking, RICO conspiracy, or the transportational purpose of prostitution, but to show that this is a force that it was used to keep victim number one, who we believe to be Cassie in this video, under his control for the purpose of trafficking and this RICO.
She firmly believes there were people who wanted to harm Aaron and that law enforcement failed to properly investigate his death as a potential crime. Forensic specialists examining the available evidence have raised significant concerns. The lack of water in Aaron's lungs makes drowning implausible. The strange positioning of items in the bathroom suggests potential staging. The disconnection between Aaron's phone being in his car while he supposedly took a bath contradicts known patterns of behavior. When asked about the puzzling inconsistencies, one forensic expert noted, "Staging cuts both ways." That's one of the reasons you want to try to keep control over a crime scene, and that way you never lose context of it. The expert emphasized that there's too much murkiness here between what the photos reveal and what police are not addressing. What makes this case particularly disturbing is that it follows a pattern seen too often in the entertainment industry. Young stars who speak out about abuse or threaten to expose powerful figures sometimes meet untimely ends under questionable circumstances. As Diddy faces his federal sex trafficking trial scheduled for May 5, 2025, the parallels between the silencing tactics allegedly used against his accusers and the suspicious circumstances of Aaron's death become increasingly difficult to ignore. Diddy's legal team recently attempted to delay his trial after 3 more victims were added to the federal case, claiming they needed more time to prepare, despite previously insisting they were ready to proceed.
Trial of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, a judge has denied his request to delay the proceedings, and that means jury selection could start in just weeks. ABC's Phil Lipoff is tracking this case. Good morning, Phil.
Yeah, Gio, good morning. It looks like it's going to. Sean Combs' trial date is set to go on as expected Friday. A judge ruled Combs' criminal trial will begin next month as scheduled.
The leaked hotel surveillance video showing Diddy violently assaulting his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in 2016 became a pivotal piece of evidence. Now, his attorneys are fighting to have it excluded from trial, claiming the footage was altered, manipulated, sped up, and edited to be out of sequence. This battle over evidence mirrors the questions surrounding Aaron's death scene. Both situations involve accusations of manipulated or incomplete evidence. More accusers are finding courage to come forward. Joseph Manzaro recently filed a civil lawsuit alleging he was drugged and sexually assaulted at a 2015 freak-off party hosted by Diddy. The lawsuit initially named several high-profile celebrities as witnesses, though these claims remain unverified and contested. What's becoming increasingly clear is that the power dynamics that may have silenced victims for decades are finally breaking down. As one legal commentator noted about Diddy's case, "So we may lose credibility on a couple of witnesses, but the sheer number of them, I find it hard to believe that a jury will choose to disbelieve all of these people." The same pattern of silence that may have prevented Aaron from fully telling his story is crumbling as more survivors step forward, creating safety in numbers that wasn't available to isolated victims in years past. Aaron Carter's story isn't unique. His trajectory from child star to troubled adult echoes through the entertainment industry.
We become friends in a strange way, you know?
Like Robin Big.
Yeah, it's like, exactly.
I'm big and you're Robin.
Yeah. No, I mean, to a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. He's somebody that, in the industry-wise, the record industry is a strong family, and he's somebody that, you know, we definitely have our arms around, and we want to protect him because he's such genuinely a nice person. Besides his talent, you know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you could ever know.
Justin, You know, Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, you know, he could buy you one also while you're
He
out.
got me a Lamborghini.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Apparently not.
Some things, everything ain't for everybody.
We have to be naked on stage during one full song, or drink a cup of blended worms. Answer Justin Bieber. I have like little girl fans. I can't go. Okay, imagine that. No, I got believed. Get that off there. Hey, this is a brand new.
Has your mom given you the sex talk yet? I mean, like,
I really don't want to have that conversation with my mother.
Yeah.
Like I've kind of had it with my father.
You want to hear? Oh, really? See, my parents never gave me the sex talk.
That last one is really just the sickest, asking a young teenage boy whether or not he's had the sex talk. Like, he's doing a media hit on a radio, and she's asking him as one of the questions, like, have you had the sex talk? This is Hollywood.
Living in this shame, living in all this sort of stuff in my past, and I wasn't able to move on.
Do you think the person that the you of then was on a path of self-destruction?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would have, for sure, 100%. Yeah. It would have been no bueno. It was bad. I don't know if I'd be alive for sure. It was dark, but I want to definitely tell my story so that if that resonates to anybody, that they can hopefully learn from it.
Well, for me, music comes from somewhere.
Right.
Maybe it comes from this youthful naivety and this desire to escape something. And then you get out there in front of the world, and then it comes from a place of wanting more of it.
Yeah. I mean, just think about how young I was and so impressionable. And you have everybody telling me how awesome I am at all times, and I just want people to understand, the psychology behind why I potentially could have problems in my life. So, yeah, thank you for being here and helping me tell that story. But yeah, just protecting those moments, because people take for granted encounters, and I just want to protect her, I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. Yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
Do you realize how important your story is? Every time I have a conversation with someone who's been through this unique type of experience, I'm searching for some kind of truth that can help.
I commend you for going there and asking the tough questions and the things that people don't want to talk about, and they don't want to go there because it's revealing, and I want people to take a look at my story and hopefully my words.
Justin Bieber, who also rose to fame as a young boy, has spoken emotionally about his own struggles, breaking down in tears during a 2019 interview when discussing his desire to protect other young artists from similar experiences. "I don't want her to go through anything I went through," Bieber said, visibly shaken when discussing his concern for Billie Eilish. "I don't wish that upon anybody." When the interviewer asked if he realized how important his story was, Bieber responded, "I want people to take a look at my story, and hopefully my words can make a difference." Old clips of Bieber's interactions with Diddy have resurfaced, showing uncomfortable moments that take on new significance in light of current allegations. In one particularly disturbing video, a young Bieber mentions Diddy giving him a Lamborghini, prompting Diddy to respond, "He had the Lamborghini for a day or two and had access to the house, and he knows better than be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television." What's emerging is a disturbing pattern across the industry, one where powerful figures gain access to young stars through promises of career advancement, gifts, and mentorship, only to allegedly exploit them once trust is established. Tom Hanks once ominously remarked that Harvey Weinstein represented just a small piece of the puzzle when it came to Hollywood abuse. The real tragedy is that these patterns continue precisely because victims know speaking out rarely leads to justice. As one legal expert explained regarding abuse cases, how do you fix that? You find an outcry witness, someone the victim told about their abuse at the time. Unfortunately, when the alleged abusers control the system itself, finding such witnesses, or having them believed, becomes nearly impossible. As we await the outcome of Diddy's federal trial, the connections between his case and Aaron Carter's suspicious death illuminate a system that has protected powerful abusers for generations. Aaron's desperate final plea for help, his mother's fight for justice, and the mounting accusations against Diddy aren't isolated incidents. They're interconnected threads in a dark tapestry that's only now being unraveled. When Aaron posted that video saying, "They're after my life," perhaps he understood something that the rest of us are only now beginning to grasp. The entertainment industry has harbored predators for decades, and those who threaten to expose them often pay the ultimate price. You deserve to hear this story. If you've stayed with me this far, please consider subscribing, because there are more truths that need to be told, more victims who deserve justice, and more powerful figures who must be held accountable. The question now isn't whether there's a connection between these cases, but how many more victims remain silent, waiting for someone to finally believe their stories.